All right, from our right, we'll get you another drink. Relax. Larry Dixon, Terry Baggett, Richard Glover, Josh Jenkins, and Lamar Johnson Harris. We'll open up for questions from those guys. Please identify the player you'd like to ask your question to. And go ahead, Ron.
Larry, where the hell were you in the first half, and what happened in the second?
I was out there. They took away the middle, and we have fantastic running backs and Raymond Maples. We got obviously Terry Baggett here. You don't have to say much about him. You just kind of know. And we had great running backs, and they're giving us outside, and so we just ran the ball outside. And I was happy to block for them because I know they're going to sell it for me. And you just can't say enough about the linemen. No, whatever we tell them to do, they're doing. We got a ton of good linemen who rotate in. So honestly, I think Terry would agree with me. But the heart of our offense is definitely the offensive line, and even our tight end. He does a lot of blocking.
They were pretty much had owned the first half, and then you were only down 10-7. How big was that last play?
It was huge. I mean, you got to talk about LJ over here. He makes a gigantic play. Josh Jenkins comes in, gets a block. LJ scoops it up in the end zone, and, that just shows, like, we're a team. Offense struggling first half, and, we leaned on our defense and our special teams, and they stepped up for us. Josh put us on, I think, the 50-yard line on a kick return, blocks a punt. LJ scoops it, gets him 14-7. I mean, that's just how, we just like to exemplify a team game of ball, and I think we did that.
Lamar, what about that? Were you just kind of lucky to be where you were, or you were actively pursuing the ball when you saw it, or what?
Yes, sir. Like Larry Dixon said, was fortunate enough to have Josh Jenkins make a good play here. So I heard the roar from the crowd and just turned around, seen the ball, and was fortunate enough and lucky enough to make a play and dive on the ball, sir.
Go ahead, Ken. The microphone behind you.
It's Rich Glover. You held Fordham at 90 yards rushing and got some pass rush, especially in the latter portions of the game. What were the challenges from the Fordham offensive line?
Pass rush has definitely been one of our focuses as a defensive line. We've been pretty good stopping the run for the most part all season. We just need to listen to our coaching points and come together as a defensive line to really work the edges and do everything that we're coached to do in order to get a better pass rush.
Just going to ask Larry, 3 touchdowns, bunch of records today. What was it like to have a very positive last game here at Mikey Stadium for you?
It was awesome. The most important thing is that we got to win. And, if you ask me probably next year, I won't know how many yards I ran for. I won't know any touchdowns. But I'm going to know I stepped on the field with these seniors, kids that I came to at prep school. Like Terry came in when I was a freshman. He was a freshman. And that's what matters. That's why I came here. Football's a great thing, and I'm happy I get to play. It's one of the most important things in my life. But it's this brotherhood that drives me, and that's what I'm going to remember about this game is that win that we got together.
And Terry, really the same question. You were making a lot of plays running the outside today, but the roar from the Corps cadets really must have been a great sound for you. What was it like as a senior playing today?
Just like Larry said, I mean, I'll remember winning this game. I remember the preparation we put in. I remember, going out here with my teammates, my brothers who I've been working with, who I've been sweating with, who I've been bleeding with for the last 4 years, who we came in together. No one gave us a chance. No one gave us anything. But we came out here today, and we prepared to win. Coach Monken got us ready. Coach Davis gave us the game plan. We executed, and we won the game. And that's how I remember it. I remember fighting with my brothers to the end, finishing, and winning.
Lamar, I happened to be in the end zone watching that play where you not quite scooped up that ball. There were about 6 people grabbing for that football. What was it like to end up with the ball?
It was a great feeling, sir. Like I said, it was fortunate to have Josh Jenkins make the great block. So it's one of the best feelings I've ever had.
Okay. Go ahead, Sal.
Josh, can you walk us through the block and what you were seeing and how it happened?
Well, they just put me in the right spot. I went through the hole, dipped my shoulder, and I had time to get there. Just dove for the ball, made a play on it, and the real playmaker was LJ. I mean, if he lands on that ball in the end zone, we get touchdown, and we're up, and that's a great feeling right there. And what can I say? He's a senior making a touchdown. Final game, Mikey. That's great.
Yeah, Larry, can you talk about LJ and just sticking it out and being here as a senior and making that play?
LJ's, he's a fantastic athlete. He's a kid who comes in and he goes to work every day. He does it every time. He does it right. He's had a lot of growth this season, and he's done everything the coaches have asked him to. And to have him pop up in the right place, it's no shock to me because he's a kid who works hard to do everything right. So, I'm extremely happy for him. I'm pumped that Josh got the block, and it's just a credit to these coaches. They teach him great technique. They had a great game plan, and, I'm pumped for him.
Good. Any other questions for the players? Good. Behind you, Ken.
Josh, can you just talk about the field position and kind of the chance to turn the tide there late in the first half? How much does that play in? Do you smell blood in a situation like that with them punting out of their end zone?
Well, we definitely had them backed up, and we needed a play at that time. We were down going into half. It was again really tight on time, and we just need to play. Coaches put me in a great position, allowed me to do my thing on the block, and LJ just falling on the ball, perfect timing.
Go ahead, Ron.
For the seniors, pretty much. Is there a tendency, even at the last game at home, that maybe us thinking a little bit ahead to Navy, or can you just flick that switch and say, no, we gotta play today?
I mean, every week, the game that we play is the most important game of the week, period. I mean, yes, Navy is definitely the most important game of the year. It's something that we practice for, prepare for every day, daily in practice. But that game doesn't matter. On Saturday, the only game we could do anything about was against Fordham. So, no, that never slipped into our mind. The preparation, the focus, the hard work we put in was to win this game. And then after this game, when it hit 0-0-0-0, we're ready to focus on Navy.
Because even during practice, it's go, and then practice, go Army, beat Navy. No one's saying go Army, beat Fordham. You get my drift?
We say beat Fordham every day.
Yes, sir, we
practice.
do.
Every day.
Just going to ask Rich Glover your thoughts. You were anchoring the defense all year in the middle, nose tackle. What were your thoughts today coming out with a positive outcome in your last home game here at Mikey Stadium?
It's always great to have a victory, no matter who it's against, what time of the year it is. We prepare to win every week, and being the anchor in the middle means a lot to me. I work for my teammates, and my teammates work for me. So I know Josh Jenkins is out there covering people, and my other fellow defensive linemen are going to be trying to make plays. So I just have to do my job and make sure I do my job for my brothers out there on the field.
We'll have Coach Monken begin with an opening statement, and then we'll take questions. Go ahead, Coach.
Good afternoon, guys. Proud of our team. Just proud of the effort in the second half. I didn't feel like we played particularly well in the first half. I was disappointed with just the fact we couldn't move the ball very effectively, and we were giving up some what I thought were pretty easy throws, and not contesting those, not getting a pass rush, just frankly was going into halftime feeling like I don't know if we can play a whole lot worse than we're playing, and we managed to get a couple of scores, made a big play on the kick, or on the blocked kick, I should say, by Josh, and LJ recovering that, and there were several guys had their hands on that thing before we recovered it. So fortunately, time didn't run out before we were able to get our hands on the ball. But it was a big play, and it changed the momentum, I felt like, for our team. And, allowed us to be able to go over there in halftime and kind of get after our guys and tell them you're not playing very good. And then we were fortunate to be ahead, and that was heartfelt. I think it was true. We were fortunate to be up. So made more plays in the second half and sustained some drives, and really nice job by our offense, just getting in the groove, and by our offensive staff and Coach Davis, calling the plays and getting those long drives, which we needed, because they sure scored quick. That's a good football team. And we mentioned earlier in the week, they've won 21 games in the last 2 years. They score a lot of points, and they do a great job defending people, and they got a lot of good football players, a well-coached team. So I was proud of our effort and proud that we were able to get a victory. We certainly needed that one, and you need every win. But going into this next game that is the biggest game of the year, no question about it, to get a victory, I think was really great for our team.
Go ahead, Ron.
Coach, you were outplayed in the first half, and yet it was still 14-10 you guys.
I'm
How
sorry, you
big-
said I'm sorry, I didn't hear the very first part. Brian.
I said you were outplayed in the first half, and yet you were still in leading 14-10 after that play. How big was that play?
Oh, again, there's less than 10 seconds on the clock when we scored, and it really, if they get the punt off, we're going to try to take a shot, get close enough that we can maybe get a last-second field goal, call a timeout, and hit a field goal, or take a shot at the end zone. But it's going to be 10-7 if we don't make a play there. So I think it was a big play for us, and to have the comfort of having the lead and knowing we were going to get the ball to start the second half, I think it was a huge play. So it was really a nice play by Josh, and we got some pressure in there, and I think just being backed up, I'm not sure if I remember exactly where the ball was spotted, what the line of scrimmage was, but they were packed in there, pretty good, and they had a shield where they had three guys out in front and three big guys, and fortunately we managed to find our way through there. And Josh is a good player, and Josh you know, he just finds a way to make plays at times, and that was one of those examples.
Excuse me, when you were, when you down 10-zip, you brought in AJ, was that just a matter of, let's change the look for a minute, or
Yeah,
or was that?
Well, the quarterback was running the ball quite a bit, and you know, AJ's a good athlete, and where he struggled, and he did a good job, and I say that today, he did a good job at hanging on to the ball, and he's had trouble with the center quarterback exchange, the snap itself, dropping a lot of those snaps, and so those can be awfully costly. Obviously, the ball hits the ground, you kick it, and they fall on it, and you lose a possession, but he's a good runner, and he's a tough runner, and so they were making the quarterback carry the ball some, and said, hey, we'll put him in there and see if he can hit some plays for us. He did, got banged up a little bit, but I thought he did a nice job, and it was a decision really that Mitch Ware made, our quarterbacks coach.
What was the nature of his injury?
I'm not going to say.
Right?
Okay. Go ahead, Kenny.
Coach, the defense did play very well in the first half. They seemed to be keeping the pass plays in front of them. Cornerbacks were making quick tackles, and you didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Was that something you could build on until the offense really got going in the second half?
Just the fact that they were catching some balls in front of us that were down the middle of the field was a little bit frustrating for us. You know, you'd like for those guys to be, you know, have a little tougher time throwing the ball down the middle of the field. You know, at times it looked like they were just uncontested, like they were throwing routes on air, and we didn't do a great job of sticking to them. So, you know, we did that a little better. Did it better toward the end of the half. Did it better in the start of the second half, and then gave up some big plays again in the second half. So, just not giving up the scores. Certainly, that's that's a positive for us, and not giving those up in the first half over the top. But we gave up that one play drive right after our 20-play drive, and you know, we just got in poor position there, and I'm not sure if he slipped or tripped or what, but as soon as he opened up, the guy was by him pretty fast. So we got to eliminate those, that's for sure.
Coach, you ran for 382 yards. Did you feel like the offensive line got some rhythm in the second half and were able to make some holes?
I think just the offense in general in the second half got in a rhythm, and we really weren't running a lot of plays. We were running, you know, 3 or 4 different plays, and that was it. And trying to we've tried to simplify the game plan this week, and once again, it's a team we haven't played before. We had no idea how they were going to line up. We tried to speculate based on what they had done in the past, you know, with their own defense, and trying to fit their defense to our offense. But it was a little different than we practiced all week. And so we kind of had to improvise. That's the thing I like about our offense. It's ruled up, so it really doesn't matter or shouldn't matter what defense they align in. At least we've got a rule that tells each guy what to do. And so our guys did a nice job of executing that and having a change on the run. We made some adjustments on the sideline and a few at halftime, but I thought the guys did a nice job.
Go ahead, Sal.
Coach, you've been a part of a lot of triple option offenses. 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Have you ever seen a drive that long running this type of offense?
We had one that was 28 plays that lasted over 14 minutes. So it's not quite the longest one.
Your decision at the end there to throw the pass to was that your decision to throw the pass to Kelvin, and why?
No, you know, they were trying to win the game, and so they were playing it all the way out to the end. So we were going to play it all the way out to the end.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, but I took a knee.
Yeah, but come on. No, was this? There must have been something going through your head like, I want to do X, Y, Z to these guys, because otherwise you'd have taken the knee before the pass.
No,
And it seemed a little. I don't know. Was there a little spite involved here somewhere? Or am I missing something?
I'm competitive.
Fair enough.
Any other questions for Coach? Go ahead, Ken.
Coach, I was going to ask, now Navy is the next game. You've won 2 of the last 3. Do you feel like you've got some momentum, something to build on going to the Navy game?
I hope we're improving as a team. we're going to have to play a lot better. We're going to have to play a lot better than we did today if we're going to have a chance to beat Navy. There's still a lot of things that we don't do well enough as a football team, and in certain areas. And those are things that we focus on. We concentrate on trying to get better at those things week in and week out, and every day at practice. And Navy's got an outstanding football team, and I have just tremendous respect for their staff, for that program and that institution. As you know, I was a coach there on the staff for 6 years, and it was a part of that staff with Paul Johnson when we went there and started this streak that's going on right now. So I know what those guys are, how they're coached, and I know how well coached they are. They're an athletic team. They've got some very talented football players. Perhaps the best quarterback in college football, and you don't have to put up stats throwing and running and being a certain kind of offense to be the best player at your position. I don't know if there's anybody that does a better job for their team, their offense, than Keenan Reynolds does for Navy. So a tremendous challenge for us, and we're going to just do our best to get prepared and try to play our best football game. We'll need to.
Go ahead, Alex. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I was just going to ask Coach the impact of those two long sustained drives. Obviously, they can score quickly, but those were really big in the second half.
I think it's just an example of why we can't rely on trying to be a one-play drive team. We go out there and chunk it 3 times and punt, and they score in one drive or one play on a drive. We wouldn't run much time off the clock if we were that kind of a football team. So to be able to sustain the drive and keep it away from them limited their opportunities to be able to do that. And we went back out there and scored again on a fairly long drive. It was probably 5 or 6 minutes, and they came right back out. And I think 4 plays later they were in the end zone again. So I think it's clear that that they're capable of doing that, and we didn't do a great job on that one play that we got beat over the top, and then those plays where they took it down the field. I think there was one run play and 3 passes, and so the sustained drives are important. They're important for our football team. It helps our defense as much as it helps our offense.
Go ahead, Sal.
Can you just talk about sending out the senior class with a win here? Larry with the big game, LJ with a good play, Terry and Ray scored touchdowns and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just it was great for our whole football team, for the 2014 football team, to get a win today at home. And winning at home is important. And there should be somewhat of an advantage dressing in your own locker room and being in front of your home crowd, and certainly being in front of the core for our guys. And I was really glad that some of those seniors, some of those older guys, made some plays that made a difference in the game, and were able to contribute. It's the senior day is I think it's just a big day because it's the last time for those guys to be here and be a part of this environment as an Army football player. Not so much that it's the last game at home or there's these out of whack emotions playing the game. I think it's just a culmination of the 4 years they've been here and the opportunity to represent our team and our program and this institution one more time at this great stadium.
Beautiful. Go ahead, Ron.
Coach, one more thing. You've gotten 4 wins, which is one more than last year. Do you consider this, as the new coach, obviously, a sort of a step in the right direction mentality?
I'm not measuring the step in the right direction by the number of wins. I think it's just how we play. That's more important. How much we've improved and or the lack of improvement in some areas. It's an evaluation process every week, and some weeks we've played better than others, and today we played a better second half than we played in the first half. Certainly, the first half wasn't a lot to build off of. As you said, we got outplayed the first half. They did a nice job. They got a good football team, and we're not a great football team right now. We're a team that's that's working to get better every day and trying to improve from week to week. And I think it was positive that we played better in the second half, and I think we improved this today in the second half. And that's what I'm going to evaluate within our program at this point is just how much we're improving. And I don't know that that's any different than I've been with any of the teams that I've coached before, even teams that, well, where I felt like we were pretty talented and had a really good football team. If we didn't play well and didn't play up to the standard that I thought we were capable of, I was disappointed, even if we won. And if we're improving and we're playing up to our potential and playing as well as we're capable of, I think those are the steps in the right direction. So there were some good things that happened out there for us today. So there's some things that are going to add to that you can say, yes, we're moving in the right direction. There's other things where you feel like, boy, we still got a long way to go.